Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to start the press conference of Team Jamaica, and we have here Coach Menzies and goalkeeper Sydney Schneider. Please, before you ask your question, ensure you tell us first the language you are going to ask your question, because we have remote interpretation, and it's very important that translators are ready. So please, first language, then introduce yourself, okay? Thank you very much, and we start. We open the floor for question.
Bonjour, pour l'agence France Presse, en français s'il vous plaît.
Hello, my question is going to be in French. I work for Agence France Presse. For Jamaica, this was a stepping into the World Cup. I just wanted to know how you felt about the game which you played and how personally there were a lot of stops. You saved a lot of goals. The score would have been much wider had you not been there. You carried out that performance. What are your feelings?
First off, thank you. Obviously, I feel good about my own performance, but as a whole, I feel like we could have done a little bit better. I feel like we just need to take the lessons from the game that we needed to learn and apply it to our next game and just come out stronger in our next game.
The next question, please.
If anybody else wants to go ahead, my cameraman too.
Don't forget to remind your language and then introduce yourself. Thank you.
I guess they're coming from mixed zone.
Yeah, but then they're fast too.
Yeah, them shouldn't really take that.
Yeah.
Because if they had the multi-flash and the uni-flash.
Yeah. And then we're down there.
Yeah.
I'm a pile up, I'll come up on. Real time vision, that one.
Rebonjour. En
Hello,
français,
it's me
s'il vous
again.
plaît.
In French.
Vous avez fait en première mi-temps.
In the
jeu
first
égal,
half,
avec le
you
Brésil.
were
Ils ont mis un moment, en tout cas,
head and head with Brazil, and then things seemed to go out of sync in your game. What was the tactic, and how come that things seemed to go wrong at a certain point?
Oh, well, obviously Sydney came up with a big save with the penalty kick. I thought it would give us a little bit of a push going into the second half. However, we thought we could get Bunny up top, number 11 up top, more involved going into the half for the second half. And we wanted to get more involved at the number 10 spot, Havana, who we felt like we just couldn't find her in the first half, so she could connect with the center forward up top. So we felt like we needed to get her more involved. But, we're going to give credit to Brazil for really being committed to their lines defensively and to block our options off to get the ball into number 11. But overall, I thought there's a lot of lessons to learn from this game, and then we're going to go back to the drawing board and try to fix it before the next game.
English. Coach, the team that was considered the team of the group, they lost today as well, Australia. Does that give you any kind of optimism moving forward?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, we're going to play the team that's ahead of us next. So, we feel, we feel athletically we can match up with a lot of these teams. So we're just going to go back to the drawing board, fix some of the things that we know are fixable, because we think that some of the mistakes that we made today was fixable. And, I think a little bit, being the first game in the World Cup ever, kind of holds a little bit of a tight squeeze on some of these kids, younger kids. But I think we got through this game. We've got this World Cup first game behind us, and now we just got to look forward to the next game.
English, Coach. Like you said, first World Cup, a lot of girls are still a very young team. Do you believe that there might have been a little lack of self-belief? Because we saw in the latter part of the game where the girls started to attack the Brazilians, they created some openings for themselves. Do you think that maybe there was a little...
I didn't hear your last part of your question.
I'm saying at the back end of the game, we saw where the Jamaicans pushed the Brazilians a lot and got some openings for themselves. So do you believe that there was a little lack of belief in the earlier part of the contest?
Well, I thought I think you're absolutely right. I thought when we first started the game, we had too much respect for them. Bonnie got an early chance there at the end, the first half, and we talked about, hey, we got to get after them. We can get after them. We can get in behind them. And I thought the second half we actually tried to get in. That that second goal came in a little bit too soon for us. Obviously trying to push forward, and obviously we start getting numbers forward. I thought Chinelu came in, number 7, came in and kind of settled the game down for us, got us forward a little bit. Defensively, she was much better, and Chantal Swebe had a great game. I thought she covered a lot of ground. And these are, Chantal Swebe is 20 years old, so, these are good learning experiences for some of our younger players. But these are fixable things. So we're going to go back to the drawing board and get these issues that we feel are issues sorted out.
English. Sydney, we spoke outside about the busy game that you had for the benefit of the press conference. Can you talk about that, your kind of game? Obviously, as I said, 3 goals conceded, but some fine saves, including a penalty. Assess your own performance as well as that of your team.
I believe, like you said, I had a few really good saves, but there was also 3 goals, so I wish I could have helped my team more. But with the saves, I was just doing my job and being there for my team.
Assessment of the team.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What?
No. The second part of the question, the assessment. What's your assessment of the team?
Oh, my assessment of the team, it would just kind of be, like Hugh said, we have to take these lessons and just apply them for the next game. This is our first game in a big tournament, but now that is behind us, our nerves should be behind us. So we just have to go out for the next game and be ready.
English, this question is for the coach. Coach, going into the game, you weren't sure how your team would adapt to the big stage. What did you learn today from your team, and going forward, is there any basic adjustments you think that you would need to make going forward to the next game?
Well, surprisingly, some of our key players, especially the 2 center backs, didn't have their stellar game that they normally did. So, we didn't expect that, to be honest with you. This is something that we need to just have a visit with them, because they're very intelligent players, even though they're young, but they're very intelligent. So we feel we just need a little bit more leadership in the back. I was talking to Sydney that she needs to be more vocal on them, harder than them, to get them sorted out. But I think we learned a lesson as far as, understanding that these players that we're playing against are very experienced. And, you're not playing Cuba. You're not playing some of these lesser teams. You're playing the high-quality teams. And don't underestimate that because we're more athletic, we can deal with defensive issues athletically. You have to get a head start of things, kind of read the game a little bit quicker. So these are things we're going to talk about. And I think, once we get that sorted out, we shouldn't have an issue.
English, Coach Menzies, this team is quite accustomed to fighting from adversities, coming from behind. Given the way things went today, are you still confident that you can qualify from this group and get positive results?
Yeah, we've been in this situation before, where we had another big game that we had to get a result, and we showed a lot of resilience. And, we haven't seen the best of Bunny Shaw, so that's something that we're going to push her a little bit on our end. And obviously, I do believe that she's going to respond to that. So we're just gonna again just go back and look at things and identify some of the areas that we need to fix, and then after that, just get after it, and work on it in training and go over it on film, and then analyze Italy and see where we can break them down, and just get over that mental issues that we have right now.
English, hi Hugh. I was actually going to ask Sydney this as well, but did you see during the match that Usain Bolt was tweeting about how amazing her performance was, and just how proud are you that everyone back home seems to have kind of engaged so much with what this team of women are doing?
Well, being here, we've made our country proud, we're a country of 3 million people, so we probably have about 5 million outside of Jamaica, but our Jamaican nation is, we made them proud, and obviously Sydney had a stellar game. I told our team in the locker room a while ago that, Sydney really saved us a lot, just from not only embarrassment, but she was just there for us, and we need to respond to those things. When your goalkeeper is just pulling things out for us, you got to respond to that. So that's something, it's her job, and she knows that. She's not a puppy. She's about 20 years old, so, the experience is going to just lift her up and hopefully lift our team up.
The last question, please.
Question em português. Eu gostaria de saber pouco mais sobre a goleira. Ela é muito mais nova.
I would like to know a little bit more about the goalkeeper. She's quite younger than the other goal pickers, and she caught a penalty from a Barcelona player. So I'd like to hear more about the goalkeeper.
I guess Barcelona has great players, I guess. Yeah, she did save the penalty kick. Obviously, Sydney's got a lot of just intelligence of her position. She's a smart kid. She analyzes herself probably after every save. She's if you sit down with her and film, she watches every single movement of herself and tries to correct some of the things. And again, she does a really good job of connecting with the back line. But you're right. She's only 21 years old, and she's got 2 more years in college. But so the future is really big for us, and she's been in our system since the U17s. So her experience is really, really getting to where it needs to be, and we have a lot of faith in her. The other goalkeepers, it's always good to have a couple number ones on your team, and hopefully Sydney continues that, and hopefully Nicole, who plays in behind her, who's more experienced, continues to encourage her and keep her going, because she's going to be our future number one.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the FIFA Women's World Cup 2019 France, match number 6 between Brazil and Jamaica. Please welcome Coach Badang and the player of the match presented by Visa, Cristiani. Congratulations. Before we start, please make sure that your translation application is working correctly. If you have any challenges, you will have the instructions right in front of your seat, or you can ask the volunteer for assistance. Please, before asking any questions and introducing yourselves, kindly make sure to state the language you are going to speak into. And we are going to have the first 3 questions for the player of the match, of course, and we're going to liberate her to go back to the dressing rooms. Now the floor is open for questions. Questions, please?
Nobody have a question.
Yeah, we have a question over here.
In English, please. Molly McElroy from The Telegraph. What does it feel like to get a hat-trick for your country? I mean, it was a big moment to win for one, but for you personally, what did that feel like?
Foi muito importante porque, como eu havia dito antes,
It was so important to me. Like I said before, it was like a new start for me. I was actually not going to participate in the World Cup because I sustained some injuries. I had to sit on the bench for a while, and after a lot of dedication, I was able to overcome this. So it really feels really special for me and my teammates.
Yes, please, we have a question over there.
Oi, português.
Question in Portuguese. Chris, if I'm not mistaken, you still had not played for the team this year. You were not part of the tournaments and some of the matches that the squad played. We know about your recovery, your rehab story. So I just wanted to hear from you, what was the change moment? What was the turn key? What motivated you to start in this World Cup and score 3 goals? I think what helped me is that São Paulo had a lot of big role in this because São Paulo, the team, allowed me to go to the national squad. So I had over 4 weeks to be able to recover with Fabinho and Capelli, who is our physical prep professional and physical therapist. So I think that period was really key for me. I had to be really careful, and they supported me all through the beginning of the tournament, and a lot of effort and dedication. That was really crucial.
Our last question for Cristiane. Yes, please.
Vou perguntar em português. Tudo bem, Cristiane?
Tudo bom?
Eu não sei se você sabe.
Question in Portuguese.
You
said that you are really happy, but you actually broke some records today with your performance. I don't know if you are aware, but you are the first woman to score 2 goals in 3 World Cups. And also, as you scored your 3rd goal, you are now the oldest player to be able to do a hat-trick in a World Cup stage. I want to know from you personally, was that an important match for you because you are now part of World Cup history? Oh my God, I'm so emotional. I didn't know about those stats. Like I said, it was such a personal win for me. I got in and my goal was to help my teammates. I didn't think I would score 3 goals. You don't think about it. You try to do your best. You try to deliver and you try to do the best for your squad because we came from a very tough patch. We suffered some defeats. So I think I'm really blessed to have had this performance today. I'm so happy to be able to represent all the girls that are in Brazil watching and dreaming about women's soccer. So to me, it's such a joy, really.
Thank you, Cristiane.
Obrigada. Thank you, merci. Dankeschön.
Our press conference will resume with Coach Vidal.
Eu posso ir? Tá bom.
Yes, we have a question over here, please.
English. I'm hoping someone will translate for me as well. Coach Vidal, of course, this is Jamaica's first appearance at the FIFA Women's World Cup. What are your thoughts on their performance today? Of course, you guys won 3-0, but what do you make of the talent of the Jamaican girls?
Eu acho que por tudo que aconteceu nos últimos jogos.
I think that considering everything that happened over the past few matches, we had several players that departed, and just as happened here in the World Cup, we were very happy about what our team did. I think we played very well on the offense and also on the defense, but I think our offense was very good in creating good opportunities. Of course, we have to improve and listen to our technical staff. We will have challenging matches, but I'm very satisfied with this first match.
Yes, we have another question over there.
Oi, em português. Vadão, queria fazer duas perguntas.
The question is in Portuguese. I'd like to ask you two questions. I would like to know whether Kathleen felt something and that's why you replaced her with Diane, if there's anything we should worry about. And with regard to today's match, we saw something very different from what we'd seen in friendly matches. Brazil was had possession of the ball for a lot longer. And in the morning, we saw Australia losing to Italy, and that's Brazil's next opponent. I would like you to tell us your prospects going into this new match, since Australia has come with an all-or-nothing mindset, and Brazil has had some not very satisfying results recently. How do you expect Brazil to do in the next match? Well, Kathleen felt a very strong cramp in one of her legs, and because she continued to play and we noticed that she was tired, had her muscles tired in that area, we felt that it was better to replace her than to leave her playing. But that's what happened with Cristiane and with Bia, and we are still very careful about our athletes. We have come from a period of a lot of injuries. We had to let go of two very important players. We saw Erica and Fabiana Baiana depart, so this was more about preventing anything from going on with Kathleen. And our match with Jamaica was exactly the same way. We wanted to try to go head-to-head and try to break the barriers so that within our characteristics to play better on the floor, on the field, and create the opportunities that we did managed to create. So this was a better supported way to play because our opponent allowed for us to do what we had planned to do. But there will come a time when we will not be able to do that, and we have to have good strategies to get the ball across, and we have trained a lot of that, especially with Debinha. And Australia has always been a very unpleasant opponent, so to speak, and so just as we have been for them. And we said before, in my interviews before coming to the World Cup, we've mentioned that Italy had grown a lot over the past few years, so our match against Australia will be very, very challenging. They play very differently from Jamaica. It's a very different style of games, and we have to study them, especially since their technical staff has changed before the World Cup. So we will have to study them more carefully to understand their strategy for the next match.
Yes, we have another question, please. Microphone, we can give. Thank you.
Em português, Vadão, tudo bem?
Question in Portuguese. Hi, Vadão. I imagine it's very good for you as a coach not having Martha and have this result. And I think people at home are also wondering about her future with the team. I would like to know about your expectations, even considering the medical reports. Can we count on her going forward? And also, what's the importance of having her even in the bench, her support and all of that? Well, I think coming into the stadium, I think it was you that I told that we would have her on the bench because she wanted to be with the team. She wanted to give her support and give her input. She wanted to stay. So I announced that she wouldn't be able to come in because she was not in good shape yet. And people would be asking, oh, won't he put her in? So I told her that I would announce that she wouldn't go she wouldn't play, and that's what happened. Now, our prospects for the next match is we're waiting for the medical reports on her, and once the doctors say she's good to go, I will put her on the pitch. It's not a technical issue, otherwise we wouldn't be discussing it here, but she trained yesterday, she trained today, and she is gradually giving more of herself on training sessions, and now we have to wait for tomorrow's and the day after that, and depending on what the doctors tell us, we will call her in.
We have a question over here, please.
Em português, eu sou Maíra, do Correio Brasiliense.
In Portuguese, I'm Maíra from Correio Brasiliense. Vadão, I'd like to know about your confidence in Cristiane. She faced a few problems physically, she had a few injuries, and how did you overcome that and brought her to the World Cup, considering that this year she tried and give her best in recovery? Well, I was always very confident in Cristiane, even when she said she wouldn't play for the national team anymore, but she wanted to talk to me because there had been a misunderstanding. So we met last December, and we had a talk. So I asked her to think it over and to come back to the national team. And she told me that back then she had made up her mind, but I said I was in no hurry. I told her, go home, spend the holidays with your family, and in the first lineup, I will call you up. I will not announce your name with the lineup, but I will call you in to talk to me, and I hope you accept it. And she did. So we have been trusting that she would be with us since then. But after that, she had sustained several injuries, so we hadn't worked together. But even still, I talked to Marco Aurelio from the technical staff, I talked to the doctors, and I told them we are going with Cristiane to the last day. And if push comes to shove and she can't go, that's okay, but we want her with us. I would like to thank the São Paulo team. She has already thanked them here, but as a coach, I'd like to thank the São Paulo team for allowing Cristiane to have her recovery with us, because our physical therapists and our doctors know her, and I knew she would have a better chance at recovery, not because our professionals are better, but because they know her better. And we knew we had her life in our hands, and the São Paulo team understood that and cooperated with us, and we thank them very much. So we had Cristiane in mind at every step of the way. She was spared training back in a few months ago because we feared something might happen, but we believe we had excellent results. She came and she's doing well. She scored several goals. She's one of the top scorers in the world, so she had an opportunity to shine again.
Okay, we will take our last question, please.
Em português também, Lucas da Folha de São Paulo, que queria saber, Vadão, como você avalia o resto?
Also in Portuguese, I would like to know, Vadão, how do you assess the rest, the other offense players? I'd like to talk a little bit about the other players and about their development, whether they did well or not, and what do you think are the necessary adjustments moving forward? I think, except for Cristiane today, we had several opportunities to put the ball in the net, on the side, from within. We had some long shots. In the first half, we had Andressa Alves going in from sideways, which is a play that we're training all the time. So I think our offense worked really well. What I think we didn't do very well in our competence. I think if we had done a little bit better, we could have scored a little bit higher, and it's not a question of not being satisfied, but I think the players could have finished the plays a little bit better, so we had more opportunities to score goals. We're not concerned about having a shootout. Our concern is whenever the opportunity comes, we have to score. because if we move to the next stage, our place in the standings will count. So if you have the opportunity, you have to take it. We never think that if we score 3 goals, we will have several other opportunities. But ultimately, that's what happened, and we could have been a little more efficient in that sense.
Thank you all for coming.